Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Welcome to the 2025 NSAA State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are powered by Game Day Men's Health, Max Tan, Doane University, Raising Canes, and the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert.
Welcome back into Tal Anderson Field. It's game 4 of the day here at the campus of Omaha, the Mavericks, the home of Omaha baseball. Nick Sainert with you. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios ahead of our nightcap. First pitch coming in about 5 minutes or so between the 3-seeded, the Ralston Rams, and the 6th seed, the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars. Once again, Nick Sainert joining you from Tal Anderson Field as the wind has begun to die down. It's measured in about 8 miles per hour, and it's been sitting under 10 for about the last hour or so. It really significantly died down in the middle innings of the 3rd game. So it's been an exciting couple of games as we've seen a couple of teams really show out. Scott Catholic with a dominating win earlier today, as well as Bennington in our last game. And then we saw a Waverly walk-off against the Gretna East Griffins in the 2nd game of the day. And so it's a very, very exciting day of baseball. We expect that of the same here in our nightcap between Ralston and Omaha Gross Catholic. There's a lot of names that will sound familiar, and we should know ahead of first pitch. We're going to take a brief timeout here at Tal Anderson Field while we pause for the national anthem. But when we come back, we'll have starting lineups as well as give you the starting pitchers in this one for Ralston and Gross Catholic here from Tal Anderson Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of this special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. We are back here at the 2025 State Baseball Tournament. The site one final time, Tal Anderson Field, before we park ourselves at Warner Park in Papillion. Starting on Monday, we will take tomorrow off from state baseball broadcast. I want to thank Doane University, the NDOT Highway Safety Office, Game Day Men's Health, Raising Cane's, Max Tan, and Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach for their support of high school baseball broadcasts here from the state tournament and all their supports. As once again, ahead of the Ralston Rams going up against the 6th seed, the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars. And for Gross Catholic, they can hit the ball. Well, starting with their leadoff hitter, number 2, a senior, .338 average, 22 hits in 65 at-bats, Carson Kozal. Kozal, the younger brother of current Arkansas baseball player Cam Kozal. Cam has at Vanderbilt, but now transferred to Arkansas, where he's having some high-level success. However, for Gross Catholic, they're going to have quite the test that stands in their way on the pitching mound. Dallas Wetzel, a 5-1 record for Dallas Wetzel this year, the junior pitcher.
Your possibilities are endless.
5-1 on the season, a 0.91 earned run average. Throws from the right side, has a black compression sleeve on his right arm, nothing on his left arm, but he is getting ready to conclude the warm-up pitches. Is Gross Catholic going to be wearing their all-blue unis with the white pants and the word Cougars across the chest, blue hats with the orange logo. Well, Ralston has the vests on today. They have the white jerseys, white pants, red hats with the powder blue or baby blue Ralston logo on top of their hat here, as shadows have started to eat and swallow the infield here at Tal Anderson Field. I would say from a percentage standpoint, the pitcher's mound is fully engulfed in shadows. The left side of the infield is as well. However, second baseman is going to be, for each side, is going to be sitting in the sun. The first baseman will have to look straight into the sun, as well as the right fielder here this evening until the sun sets over our left shoulder. at first pitch, it's going to be a nice temperature here. We're aiming towards a 7:03 p.m. first pitch. And for right now, your weather, if my gauge wants to update, 69 degrees here at first pitch, which once again, with a 9-mile-per-hour wind that's drifting towards the third base dugout, so about right to left. We saw some guys really get into some baseballs in our last game, but nothing too significant as the first pitch of the game from Wetzel to Kozal is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. So once again, Ralston and Gross Catholic, your two teams here this evening in the nightcap. The 0-1 offering swung on and missed. Once again, great off-speed by Dallas Wetzel as he's gotten Carson Kozal down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So Omaha Gross Catholic on the year, 16-7. They're the visitors on the scoreboard. The 0-2 pitch up and away, ball 1. Carson Kozal, the senior shortstop, he gets the start at short today. 338 average on the year and 65 at-bats. The 1-2 offering from Wetzel. Swung on, hit well, but it's a ground ball right to the second baseman, and he fires over to first in time to retire the Gross Catholic leadoff hitter. It's 4-3 on the putout for out number 1. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 5, Drew Powers. Drew, a senior second baseman. He also does a little bit of pitching. Not a great earned run average, though, on the year. He's hitting .255 at the plate. He's got 14 hits and 55 attempts. He hits from the left side. Wetzel throws from the right. The first pitch, the at-bat, up and away for a ball, 1-0. It's also worth mentioning that for Ralston, 8-16-6 on the campaign. The pitch, up and away once again, 2-0. Ralston lost in the district final 12-10 to a team that we saw in game 1 today, the Hastings Tigers. Ralston, the pitch, and it's going to be up and in for a ball, 3-0 to the Gross second hitter in the lineup, Drew Powers. As I mentioned, Drew getting the start at second base this evening. He has a 3-0 count. The pitch from Dallas Wetzel is in there for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike here as Gross, the visitors on the scoreboard, they had a ground out to start the game, and now here's the second hitter as he takes strike 2, 3-2, and a good job by Dallas Wetzel, the Ralston starting pitcher, of getting it back to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the first inning. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's up and away, way out of the zone, and that's Wetzel's first free pass of the day, and it comes to Drew Powers. So now that'll open the door for Logan Legner, the third baseman today. Hits third in the Gross Catholic lineup. Legner, number 17, a junior third baseman, hitting .387, 24 hits in 62 at-bats. He's driven in 18 runs this year. Stands in the right side batter's box, facing the right-handed hurler, Dallas Wetzel. Very conservative lead over there at first base by Drew Powers. The first pitch, the at-bat, way out of the zone and high. It's ball 1. Wetzel struggling to throw downhill here. He's letting that chest fly open, and he's been missing high quite a few times here in the early stages of this one. He's already at 11 pitches through just 1/3 of an inning. Powers leads off at first. This pitch is going to be skied shallow center field. The shortstop ranging back. He's going to make the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2, and Powers will have to retreat back to first base. It's F6 on the putout to shallow center field, and with 2 outs, that'll bring up the Gross Catholic cleanup hitter, the first baseman, number 15, Maddox Villamonte. Villamonte, a sophomore first baseman, hits .266 from the left side. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. The runner goes, no swing, and there will be no throw. A great read and a great jump by Drew Powers over there at first base as he's able to swipe second base. And Villamonte takes ball 1 low and away, 1-0. Runner in scoring position for the Gross Catholic cleanup hitter, Maddox Villamonte. Drew Powers stands at second base. The 1-0 pitch from Dallas Wetzel as he fires. It's way out of the zone, no good. It's going to roll to the backstop as it got through the 5-hole in between the legs of the Ralston catcher, Kaysen Fushio allowed that one to get between his legs and to the backstop over the Mavericks logo behind home plate. And moving up another 90 feet was Drew Powers on the wild pitch. And so therefore, Maddox Villamonte has quite the opportunity here in the top of the first inning to where he can easily bring in an RBI here in the form of Drew Powers if he can get one through this infield of the Ralston Rams. Villamonte, like I mentioned, 266 hitter. He has driven in just 9 runs on the year. We'll see if he can do something here in the top of the first. 2 balls, no strikes. Dallas Wetzel comes set at the chest. He fires home, swung on, hit well out to left field, but the left fielder should be able to get over there. He does for out number 3. So Villamonte flies out to the left fielder to end the top of the first inning. Dallas Wetzel works around a 1-out walk that eventually the runner got over to third base for. And after a half inning of play, we're still scoreless. Gross Catholic goes 0 runs on no hits. They do leave 1 runner left on base. We get to see Ralston's offense when we come back in 30 seconds.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field. For Ralston, they will send Braden Vandervoort up to the plate first, and he will be facing number 10, Charlie Yashnowski. Yashnowski, the junior pitcher, 2-3 record on the year, a 2.97 earned run average. But Charlie Yashnowski, the tall right-handed thrower, he has concluded his warm-up pitches, and we are ready to go here in the bottom half of the first inning. Going up first to the plate for the Ralston Rams, Braden Vandervoort. Vandervoort, a junior, hitting .371 on the year, 26 hits in 70 ABs. It'll be Bryson Sargent, the senior outfielder, hitting .435. He'll be up second. And then Kyle Gouchard, who is a senior third baseman who hits .288, will be up third here in the bottom half of the first inning for the Ralston Rams. We're ready to go here in the bottom half of the first as the pitcher, Yashnowski, working from the windup, fires one home, and it's up and away for a ball, 1-0. Yashnowski, the junior pitcher, fires the 1-0, and it's going to be fouled off to the right side. Foul ball will even it up at 1 apiece. One ball, one strike as Yashnowski shakes off his catcher, now finds something he likes, fires one in there, and it's a strike on the outer part of the plate, 1-2. Yashnowski, the ERA is not going to jump off the page at you. 2.97 per appearance, as this one's going to be floated out to shallow right field. The second baseman cannot get there. The right fielder was playing relatively deep because he was not taking the wind into account. It wasn't pretty, but it's a leadoff single for Braden Vandervoort. So Braden Vandervoort gets Ralston in the hit column. And now that'll bring up the number 2 hole hitter, the center fielder, number 1, Bryson Sargent. Sargent, a senior, hitting .435 with 27 hits and 62 at-bats. He does have 1 home run on the campaign. He has also driven in 20 runs. Vandervoort leads off first base. The lefty hitter, Sargent, stands in against the righty pitcher. The first pitch of the at-bat going to be fouled back our way, and it almost hit the press box, barely missed it, and it'll be no balls, 1 strike coming up in just a moment to Bryson Sargent. Sargent, the lefty, facing the right arm of Yashnowski. Comes set at the belt, picks over to first. Back in time was Vandervoort. So we will reset and do it again with no balls and 1 strike. Yashnowski comes set. Pauses, lifts the leg and fire. Runner goes. They'll throw it down to second. The throw is not in time as it skipped towards the second base bag, and sliding in head first and safely was Braden Vandervoort. That ball was a little bit of a tougher one for the catcher behind the dish for Gross Catholic, Vinny Cortinas. It was a little tougher for him to handle. He chucked it down to second base, and it was a tad short as it one-hopped the bag, and Vandervoort slid in safely. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Ralston has a runner in scoring position as the second hole hitter, Bryson Sargent, takes ball 2 up and away, 2-1. Vandervoort sits on second base. Righty pitcher, lefty hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yashnowski checks the runner at second. The shortstop, Kozal, kind of working him, not a whole lot. I think now Yashnowski's stepping off the rubber and asking his shortstop, Carson Kozal, to work him a little bit. He's getting a pretty aggressive lead out there on second base, probably about 15 feet off the bag or so. He'll come set, fire home, ball in the dirt, and it will be ball 3 to Bryson Sargent. 3 balls, 1 strike coming up in just a moment from Yashnowski to Bryson Sargent. A little bit of command struggle for Yashnowski here in this one. He turns, spins. Nobody's home at second base. It goes into center field. The center fielder on the pickoff attempt will throw it into third, and moving up with no issue is going to be Braden Vandervoort as that pickoff attempt. Miscommunication once again by Kozal and Yashnowski, and it goes into center field. And that allows Braden Vandervoort to move up another 90 feet to third base. And now with a 3-1 hitters count approaching Bryson Sargent, there's the lead runner 90 feet away at third base. Here's the 3-1 offering. Swung on, hit well out to right field. The right fielder ranges back. He'll catch this one. The cutoff will not be in time. And Ralston strikes first here in the bottom of the first inning on a sacrifice fly from Bryson Sargent. So that is out number 1, but on the play, as I said, because of the miscue on the pickoff, Braden Vandervoort is able to move up to third base and then eventually tag and score. New batter, it's the 3-hole hitter, Kyle Gouchard, the designated hitter. He hits from the right side and takes ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the first inning. Coming set and firing home. This one swung on, hit hard to the shortstop. Kozal has it, collects, fires over to first in time for out number 2. 6-3 on the putout. So a nice job there by the pitcher, Charlie Yashnowski, to be able to collect himself and reset, get the out, as it was a 1-0 breaking ball to Kyle Gouchard that he spearheaded towards shortstop. Now that brings up the cleanup hitter, Nick Bennis. Bennis takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1. Bennis getting the start in right field today. On the year, Nick Bennis, 234 hitter at the plate. The 0-1 offering. Yashnowski can't get him to fish on a breaking ball low and away. It's going to be 1-1. Bases are empty after the sacrifice fly from Bryson Sargent drove home Vandervoort. Kyle Gouchard then grounded out to the shortstop Kozal, and now Nick Bennis has a 1-2 count after he fouls the 1-1 offering back to the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nick Bennis. Great first name, Nick Bennis. And here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 outs, here's the pitch. Strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. It clipped it on a nice fastball there by Charlie Yashnowski, but Ralston is able to strike first. They score 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left on base, and after 1 inning of baseball, Ralston leads Gross 1-0. We head to the top of the second inning in 30 seconds when we come back.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that 1 moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. Ralston leads it 1-0 as we enter the second inning of play. You probably heard the news. Nebraska softball won 14-1 yesterday. They beat Southeastern Louisiana earlier today. And now Southeastern Louisiana in elimination game is up 4-3 on number 10 LSU. You might remember Southeast Louisiana beat LSU last night to even force Nebraska to play SE Louisiana. But now in the top of the fourth inning, Southeast Louisiana trying to upset it again. Whoever wins this game will play Nebraska on Sunday at 2 p.m., and they'll have to beat the Huskers twice to prevent the Huskers from advancing to a super regional. All right, up first, it's Robbie Brennan. He takes ball one, but now bounces the second one to the third baseman, who throws it over to first in time to retire the first batter of the second inning for Gross Catholic. Robbie Brennan goes down on the 5-3 putout for out number one here in the top of the second. That's going to bring up Griff Pechar, the right fielder, as he's the junior hitting .318. Griff Pechar, he watches strike one on the outer part of the plate, 0-1. No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch from Wetzel for Ralston. It's outside, ball one. 1-0 is your score. Ralston out in front by a run. They scored it in the bottom of the first inning on a sacrifice fly. This one bounced right side to the second baseman, and it is over to first in time as Pechar is retired for out number two. We'll bring up the designated hitter today for the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars, Braden Dahlin. Dahlin doing the DHing on the year. Number 21, Braden Dahlin, the sophomore, hits .273 from the right side. 1-0 is your score as Wetzel has surpassed 20 pitches on the bump. Working from the windup, here's his 21st pitch, and it's in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, one strike, two outs here as we are 20 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour at Tal Anderson Field. The pitch swung on, fouled back to the nets, and we'll do it at 0-2. Nice job by Dallas Wetzel getting on top of hitters. And here he's way ahead, 0-2. A very open stance for Braden Dahlin, the designated hitter, as he faces 0-2. Wetzel, the pitch, swung on, lined up the middle, corralled by the shortstop on a sliding, diving grab, and he fires over to first in time. A great play by the Ralston Rams shortstop, Braden Vandervoort, as he worked to his left, slid on one knee, popped up, and fired it across the diamond for out number three. The Ralston Rams forced Gross Catholic to go 1-2-3 on three groundouts. They grounded out to the third baseman, then the second baseman, and they cap off the inning. Why not? By grounding out to the shortstop. When we come back in the bottom of the first inning, Ralston will send hitters 5, 6, and 7 to the plate as they lead it 1-0 over Omaha Gross right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We head to the bottom of the second inning here at Tal Anderson Field. Nick Sainert with you. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Can't thank him enough for his hard work all day today on a Saturday. Ralston leads it 1-0 after they were able to get a leadoff single on base in the first inning in the form of Braden Vandervoort. He then advanced to second on a stolen base, advanced to third on an error on a pickoff attempt that went into center field, and then was driven home by Bryson Sargent on a sacrifice fly. Now, up first here is the third baseman, Cade Sticks. Sticks, number 16 for the Ralston Rams, hitting .282, swings and drives this one right side, fielded cleanly by the second baseman, and thrown over to first in time for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out, and as good of a start as you could have hoped for in the bottom half of the second inning for Gross Catholic. 1 pitch, 1 out for Charlie Yashnowski. So a nice job there by Charlie Yashnowski to get Sticks retired on 1 pitch. That'll bring up Owen Elsasser. Elsasser hitting 6th in the lineup, getting the start in left field today. He takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Elsasser here on the season hitting .311 and 61 at-bats. Watches ball 1, low and away, 1-1. Owen Elsasser steps into the right-handed batter's box, facing the righty pitcher for Gross Catholic. Skies this one into shallow. No, it won't even make it out of the infield. Fielded on the fly behind second base by Kozal, and that is out number 2. So F6 on the fly out as Elsasser flew out to the shortstop behind second base for out number 2, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jason Miner. Miner getting the start at second in the field for Ralston. He takes strike 1 over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Good job once again by the Gross Catholic pitcher, Charlie Yashnowski, to get on top. The 0-1 offering works its way back to home plate, and it's 0-2. Yashnowski in a rhythm. 21 pitches on the day. He's working from the windup, and he's ready to deliver the 0-2 offering. Here it is, swung on line to the second baseman and hauled in by the Gross Catholic second baseman, Drew Powers, there to stab it out of the air. That'll be the third out of the inning, and Charlie Yashnowski works as clean and as effective of an inning as you could have hoped for. We head to the top of the third inning here at Tal Anderson Field in just a second on 93.7 The Ticket.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
How about this? A 7-pitch inning for Charlie Yashnowski as he works a clean bottom half of the second to keep it a 1-0 Ralston lead. Now, in the top of the third inning for the Gross Catholic Cougars, it'll be hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Cougars, as it'll be Cale Biggsberger. The starting center fielder steps into the right-handed batter's box, and we're ready to go here at Tal Anderson Field for the top of the third inning. Righty-righty matchup is Dallas Wetzel back out there for his third inning of work, and he fires in a ball 1-0 just outside there to Cale Biggsberger. 1 ball, no strikes here in the top of the third inning. The pitch, up and away, ball 2. Good eye there by Cale Biggsberger. Biggsberger getting the start in center field today. He, on the season, .229 average, 11 hits and 48 at-bats. The 2-0 offering to Biggsberger is low, out of the zone, 3-0. And we've seen in the previous games today what a leadoff walk or just base runner in general can do to ignite an offense. The 3-0 pitch on the way, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Dallas Wetzel as Cale Bigsberger will take first base for number 9 in the order, the starting pitcher, Charlie Yeshnowski. Yeshnowski walks over to the right-handed bag. I wouldn't be surprised to see Yeshnowski in a one-run deficit right now drop down a sacrifice bunt. As the 9-hole hitter, you know what you have waiting on deck in the form of Carson Kozol. And of course, Gross Catholic, though, they do the numbering system where the third base coach calls out a series of numbers, and then everybody collectively looks down at their wristband and figures out what the play is. They'll pick over to first while Yeshnowski showed bunt as soon as Wetzel stepped on the rubber. No balls, no strikes. The first pitch of the at-bat to Yeshnowski, who's squaring away as Wetzel comes set. The pitch in there is for a strike. No balls, 1 strike now to Charlie Yeshnowski. No balls, 1 strike to Yeshnowski. The right-handed pitcher, Wetzel, comes set at the belt with a runner on first. The runner goes. It stays in. Oh, it's going to be a strike on the inner part of the plate. I was surprised for as much as the catcher, Kaysen Fushio, had to reach to his left to grab that one, that it was a strike called by the home plate umpire. But it was taking second base on the stolen bag was Cale Bigsberger. And so now there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and Yeshnowski has a 0-ball, 2-strike deficit that he's faced with in the batter's box. Wetzel could use a strikeout here in the top half of the third inning. As he comes set, the runner is at second, gets his lead. The delivery on 0-2, swung on, fouled off, and we'll do it again at no balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes as Wetzel, just a .91 earned run average on the season. Slows down his tempo, comes set, checks the runner at second twice, and fires one home just a bit outside. Cade Sticks over there at third base for Ralston thought that one might have clipped the outside corner. He started jumping up and down in shock that it wasn't strike 3. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here for the Gross Catholic Cougars. Wetzel for Ralston, the thrower on the mound, comes set, fires. It's on the outside corner. Strike 3. That one clipped it. And that is out number 1 here in the top of the third inning. And Yeshnowski goes down on strikes as he goes down watching for out number 1. That brings up the top of the lineup, Carson Kozol. Kozol grounded out to the second baseman on a pretty well hit ground ball to start the game. He's the lefty hitter facing the righty arm of Dallas Wetzel. And we have a timeout at the plate charged to Cam Kozol. Kozol on the season once again, 338 hitter, 22 at-bats and now 22 hits and now 66 at-bats. No balls, no strikes here in the top of the third inning. 1 out, runner on second for Gross Catholic. The first pitch of the at-bat is in there for a strike, 0-1. The wind started the day blowing directly to the right center wall. Now it's blowing back towards third base and to that third base dugout, according to the flags planted over the left center wall. The 0-1 pitch to Kozol. He's going to try to bunt it down the third base line. It's well foul, and we'll do it at 0-2 coming up to Carson Kozol. Kozol, the left-handed hitter. The guy on second base is Cale Bigsberger. Bigsberger walked to start the inning on 4 pitches, but then Charlie Yeshnowski struck out looking, backwards K, with Bigsberger on second base and nobody out. Now here's the leadoff hitter, number 1 hitter in the lineup, Carson Kozol, trying to do something with his AB before Drew Powers, who is standing in the on-deck circle, comes up to the plate. Wetzel, the pitcher, has yet to come set. Now he does. He comes set, staring back the runner at second. The pitch up and out of the zone, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top half of the third. The Cougars of Omaha Gross Catholic, the visitors on the scoreboard as they are the lower seeded 6th seed, Ralston the 3 seed. 1-2 pitch from Wetzel. He fires home just outside, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the visiting half of the third inning. Gross Catholic has yet to register a hit against Wetzel. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopper, short over the pitcher's head. Shortstop fields it. Vanderfort able to fire it over to first base in time. He cut across the diamond in front of the second baseman, fielded that one, had all of his momentum going towards first base. On the play, the runner does advance from second to third, and on the ground ball, Kozal is retired. So now that brings up on the fielder's choice. After that, Drew Powers, the left-handed hitter, starting at second base, drew a walk his first time up back in the first inning. The lefty hitter watches strike one go by, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here to the 2-hitter in the Gross Catholic lineup, Drew Powers. This one swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. And Wetzel, after allowing a leadoff walk on 4 pitches, is 1 pitch away, 1 strike away from getting out of this one unscathed. No balls, 2 strikes. Wetzel comes set. He fires. It's in the dirt. Ball 1. Good stop behind the dish by Fuccio for the Ralston Rams as he kept that game-tying run in Cale Bigsberger 90 feet away at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This will be the 41st pitch of the day for Dallas Wetzel, and it results in a foul ball chopped off to the right side, fielded by one of the bench players in the Gross Catholic dugout. Nice stop there, young man. And we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Wetzel. It's inside. No good on that one, and it's going to be ball 2. So the count is now even at 2 apiece. Cale Bigsberger, the runner, 90 feet away at third base. He could tie the game if he can get across home plate. Here's the 2-2 offering, and it hit him. He tried to go inside. Dallas Wetzel is trying to argue his case that the hitter, Drew Powers, leaned into it, but the home plate umpire not having it. And with that, Drew Powers will take first base. Runners will be at the corners with 2 outs. And that brings up the third baseman, number 17, Logan Legner. Legner hits .387 on the year. He's driven in 18 runs, and he flew out to shallow center field his first time up. So after this game had been moving real smooth, this top of the third inning has taken a little bit of a toll on the pace of play. We'll step aside as there's a conference on the mound. 30 seconds, and we're back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It's the top of the third inning here. 2 outs after a conference on the mound by the Ralston Rams. As there will be runners on the corners in the top of the third inning. Gross Catholic has runners on the corners due up. It's Logan Legner. He steps into the right-handed batter's box, facing the right-handed pitcher, Dallas Wetzel, for the Ralston Rams. Ralston leads it 1-0. The runner at first goes. They will not throw down to second. Instead, they'll try to chase Cale Bigsberger back to third. And with that, runners now at second and third with 2 outs. And so Logan Legner, his opportunity just got a tad larger. Here, if he can deliver a base hit with 2 outs here, it would also double as the Gross Catholic's first hit of the game as he hammers this one left side. It's going to be a foul ball. So there, they will not call it fair. They're going to say it was a foul ball. The Ralston coaching staff, most importantly, Tom Cooper, the head coach, is out of the dugout with his hands held high, wondering how they could on earth have called that a foul ball. But they did, and we'll do it again at no balls, 2 strikes. Logan Legner. No balls, 2 strikes, runners on second and third. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Wetzel swings, and on the right side, it's a soft bouncer. The second baseman charges. It's an accurate throw over to first base in time, and Wetzel is able to force the Gross Catholic Cougars to put up a 0. They get shut down despite the leadoff walk and despite the 2-out hit by pitch. And so with that, Ralston will go towards the bottom of the third, leading still just 1-0. We see in the bottom half of the third inning, hitters 8, 9, and 1 for the Ralston Rams. It's McDaniel, Fuccio, and then top of the order with Braden Vandervoort. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field as we enter the bottom half of the third inning. It's 1-0 Ralston over the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars. 1-0 your score. That one run came back in the bottom half of the first where Braden Vandervoort, who will be hitting third this inning, he reached on a leadoff single, then advanced to second on a stolen base, advanced to third on an error on the pickoff attempt, and then was driven in via a sacrifice fly from the 2-hitter in the lineup, Braden Sargent. But first up here in the bottom of the third inning, it's Ethan McDaniel, the first baseman. The righty-righty matchup watches ball 1, low and away, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch once again from Yashnowski. That time it's able to clip the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just reached 7:40 p.m. here in Omaha. The pitch on 1-1 is the same exact spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ethan McDaniel. McDaniel on the year, the junior, hitting just 182 at the plate. Watches ball 2. As it is now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan McDaniel. McDaniel just 4 hits on the campaign in 22 at-bats. The 2-2 offering on the way. Breaking ball, fanned on and missed. And that is strikeout for the first out. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Charlie Yashnowski. This time he gets him down swinging for out number 1 in the home half of the third inning. It's 1-0 Ralston as Yashnowski now at 27 pitches. He'll face the 9-hitter in the lineup, and he gets Kason Fuccio to swing and miss at the first pitch, 0-1. Fuccio on the season, the freshman catcher, hits 286. Here's the pitch on the way, well outside, ball 1. Kason Fuccio hits from the right side of the plate, facing the righty pitcher, Yashnowski. The pitch on the way, fouled off right side. That'll be well out of play towards the gate down the first base foul line, and it is 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up to Kason Fuccio. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. From the windup, here's Yashnowski. Low and away, ball 2. So we are all even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's Yashnowski's pitch. On the way, strike 3, fastball across the heart of the plate. Gets Fuccio down looking. It's a backwards K for Kason Fuccio. Yashnowski gets his second strikeout in a row, his third of the day, and now the lineup turns over to Braden Vandervoort. Vandervoort gets the start at shortstop today. He's 1 for 1 in the game. He had that single back in the first inning into shallow right field. The first pitch of his at bat. It's a breaking ball that buckled the knees of Vandervoort and is in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Yashnowski. Swung on and missed. Another off speed. And Yashnowski, that looked to be a changeup more so than a fastball. It didn't have much horizontal movement, but man, he had Vandervoort out in front. Now this one going to be tapped out behind the pitcher's mound. Tough play. There is no play. The second baseman had to range over to his right all the way behind the second base bag. Drew Powers is the second baseman, and it was just hit soft enough to where it just continued to roll past the bag, and Drew Powers deep in the second base hole, unable to make a play, can get the speedy Braden Vandervoort out. So how about this? 2 hits on the day for the Ralston Rams. Both of them have come off the bat of their leadoff hitter, Braden Vandervoort. Nobody else in the entire game with both teams combined have recorded a hit. With Vandervoort on first base, Yashnowski comes set. Still set. Now fires over to first base on a pickoff attempt. No good. He's back in there safely as Vandervoort. And with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning, it's still 1-0 Ralston. Yashnowski has to deal with Bryson Sargent, the center fielder for the Ralston Rams. Picks over again. Safe again. First pitch of the at-bat is coming up in just a moment to Bryson Sargent. Vandervoort leads off of first. Yashnowski comes set. Runner goes from first to second. Slow delivery from the catcher, and it is not in time. Safe at second is Vandervoort, and that will be a stolen base, his second stolen base of the day. And it feels a little like deja vu. As Vandervoort gets on first base, steals second. Now, as long as Gross Catholic doesn't have a error into center field on a pickoff attempt to Vandervoort at second base, things are going to be okay. 1 ball, no strikes here to Bryson Sargent. Sargent hits from the left side, facing the right-handed pitcher, Yashnowski, Charlie Yashnowski. He fires home on the 1-0. This one chopped right side, but foul. And we'll do it at 1 ball, 1 strike here with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the home half of the third inning. This will be the 38th pitch of Yashnowski's outing, and he'll lift the leg and fake back towards second base just to keep Vandervoort honest. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryson Sargent. Vandervoort at second base with 2 outs for the Ralston Rams, trying to add 1 more run. This one on 1-1 is across the plate for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big chance here for Yashnowski to get out of this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he could strand Vandervoort, the Ralston leadoff hitter, at second base. 180 feet away from giving Ralston a 2-run lead. The 1-2 offering as they turn, pick off, and another error. My goodness, it is deja vu as they throw it into left center field this time. There was miscommunication again by Carson Kozol and Charlie Yashnowski. I think they should just shut it down. They should just never pick off to second again, because it's similar story as the first inning, to where Ralston gets Vandervoort on first base. He steals second base, and now an error on a pickoff attempt to second base and try to get Vandervoort back to the bag. They throw it into the outfield, and he advances to third base. We have a timeout on the field as the Gross Catholic head coach Jim Hempel wants to talk things over. We'll step aside for 30 seconds and be right back.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doan, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doan.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, if you're Charlie Yashnowski, you have one priority right here, and that is worry about the hitter, who you are ahead on in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm sure that was part of the conversation that Jim Hempel had with his pitcher. Worry about the hitter. The runner on third does not matter. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. It's a ball in the dirt. It gets past the catcher, and Ralston will take a 2-0 lead on the aggressive base running by number 3, Braden Vandervoort. Vandervoort gets on first base with a 2-out single. He swipes second base, and then he advances to third on an error, and then is able to grab home plate with a wild pitch and advancing on it. And so there, Ralston has a 2-0 lead, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Braden Sargent. Here's the pitch from Yashnowski, and it is low and inside, ball 3. So the 3-2 pitch coming up in just a moment from Charlie Yashnowski. He comes set at the belt, fires on the payoff pitch. It's low and inside, and a 2-out walk to Bryson Sargent. I said it with Austin when he was with me for this last game. I had mentioned that you can just tell when guys get a little flustered when guys get on base. And for the last, well, I should say, the both times that Braden Vandervoort has been on base, Charlie Yashnowski has struggled to stay composed. 2-0 is your score. Runner on first. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The first pitch of the at-bat to Kyle Gouchard is across the plate for a strike. 0-1. Good job by Yashnowski getting on top of the hitter Gouchard, who's DHing today, hitting third in the Ralston Rams lineup. Coming set, Yashnowski. Yashnowski pausing, taking his time, picks over to first. Back in time is Bryson Sargent. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here for Charlie Yashnowski. In the plate, it's Kyle Gouchard. He watches ball 1 go by. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third, the pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Nice job once again here by Charlie Yashnowski getting ahead of hitters. Now just got to put them away. Yashnowski on the day, 3 strikeouts, trying to get Kyle Gouchard down. Runner on first is Sargent. Yashnowski turns, picks off, and is back in time over at first base once again. It's pretty ironic. Braden Vandervoort has Ralston's lone 2 hits today, and the pitcher, Charlie Yashnowski, is responsible for Gross Catholic's only 2 errors on the day. And they both came when Vandervoort was at second base and on pickoff attempts. Vandervoort, also has the 2 Ralston runs. It's bizarre how just those 2 players have caused so much. The 1-2 pitch swung on, chopped left side, foul, and we'll do it again at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Yashnowski, Yashnowski's on the bump. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Ralston Rams 3-hole hitter, Kyle Gouchard, who's DHing today. Ralston scored a run in the first and a run here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 is your score. The 1-2 offering to Gouchard on the way. Fouled off again. Good job by Kyle Gouchard at the plate. And he fouls it off back towards the on-deck circle where his teammate number 7, Nick Bennis, is. And he was able to grab that foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the home half of the third. Ralston leads it 2-0. In a little bit of a longer bottom half of the third inning, Yashnowski comes set with the entire infield engulfed in shadows. This one grounded to the shortstop, fielded cleanly by Kozal. Kozal fires over to third, and that'll do it for the bottom half of the third inning. Rather, fires over to first, That'll do it for the bottom half of the third inning. Your score after 3 innings of play, it's essentially Braden Vandervert 2 and Gross Catholic 0. But on the scoreboard, it shows Ralston 2 and Gross Catholic 0 after 3 complete innings. We'll come back to start the fourth here in just a moment.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Tal Anderson Field as Nick Sainert here with you on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Appreciate him for all of his work this afternoon and evening as we enter the fourth inning here at Tal Anderson Field on the campus of the Omaha Mavericks, the Omaha baseball program. If you haven't been out here near our Exarban Village, Baxter Arena sits behind the right field fence. Yesterday, graduation commencement ceremonies. There was one at 9 a.m., one at 3 p.m., and the parking lot was full. It was at capacity, I will say, with the state baseball tournament going on, and then obviously graduations happening. And today, that parking lot on the far side, right in front of Baxter Arena, a little empty, but the state baseball field full of spectators. Here in the top half of the fourth inning, due up first for Gross Catholic, it'll be Maddox Villamonte. Villamonte flew out to the left fielder in his first AB back in the first inning. Here's the 1-0 offering. Swung on, chopped softly, left side, but foul. And it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike coming up to Maddox Villamonte. One ball, 1 strike as Dallas Wetzel is the pitcher on the mound for Ralston. The pitch on the way on 1-1 is a ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two ball, 1 strike. This one swung on, fouled off left side, and it'll be evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dallas Wetzel working with quite the rhythm right now. Gross Catholic still without a hit through 3 innings of play. Here in the top of the fourth inning, though, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Maddox Villamonte. Villamonte, the pitch on this one, swung on, hit well to the right side, fielded on the floor by the first baseman, who will trot over to first base, touch the bag for 3 unassisted putout, and it will be out number 1 of the fourth inning. That'll bring the 5th hitter in the Gross Catholic lineup, Robbie Brennan, to the plate. Brennan playing left field tonight. He grounded out to the third baseman in his first AB. He hits from the right side, facing the righty pitcher, Dallas Wetzel. The pitch on the way, first one of the AB, is going to be hit hard through the 5-6 hole in between the third baseman and the shortstop. And for the first time tonight, Gross Catholic is in the hit column on a 1-out single off the bat of Robbie Brennan. Robbie gets a 1-out single as he attacks the first pitch of the at-bat. And with that, he will now occupy first base as number 11, Griff Picard, comes up to the plate with a 1-out base runner. Dallas Wetzel, 5-1 record on the year, a 0.91 earned run average. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Picard, unable to get it across the plate for a strike. It's 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, no strikes to Griff Picard. This will be the 54th pitch of Dallas Wetzel's night as he picks over. Just kidding. It'll be still on 53. Your score, 2-0 Ralston here over the Gross Catholic Cougars. 2-0 is your score. 1 ball, no strikes. Picard with the bat on the shoulder. Now he gets ready as Wetzel comes set. Wetzel set at the chest, looks, runner goes. This pitch in there for a strike. The throw down to second, not in time. Sliding in safely is the runner from first base, Robbie Brennan. He successfully steals second base, and that'll give the Gross Catholic Cougars a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. Runner at second, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. The 1-1 offering to Griff Picard. Picard, the righty, swings, chops this one out. Shortstop, bobbled. He boots it, and runners will be at the corners. Now they throw back to third base, and he's there in time. He rounded third base trying to see if he wanted to turn and go home. The third base coach had his arms up saying, stop, 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 stay put, but he still rounded third base. And a heads-up play by Vandervoort at shortstop. Despite the error, he knew and saw that the third runner going into third base, Robbie Brennan, was rounding the bag, and so he chucked it back door to third base, and just barely getting back in time was Robbie Brennan, who advances on the air by the shortstop, Vandervoort. However, Griff Picard now reaches on the air by the shortstop. It's the first error of the day for the Ralston Rams, bringing up Braden Dolan, the designated hitter. The runner goes from first to second. They throw down to second. This time, it is in time. He is out at second base. Fuccio chucks him out for out number 2 on the attempt to steal second base by Griff Picard. So he is caught stealing for out number 2, and now if you are the Gross Catholic Cougars, you have, once again, a run standing 90 feet away. An 0-1 count here to Braden Dolan, the designated hitter. This one low in the dirt, stopped by the catcher, Fuccio, and it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. We are nearing the 8 o'clock hour here at Tal Anderson Field. Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 Ralston. He comes set, does Wetzel. Swings, and this one chopped left side, foul. And we will do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dallas Wetzel on the mound comes into this one a 5-1 record, a 0.91 earned run average. So, right-handed hitter. It's Braden Dolan. Dolan in his first at-bat this evening grounded out to the shortstop. Wetzel comes set. The 1-2 offering is up and away. Ball 2, we're even. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 7-hole hitter, Braden Dolan, in the Omaha Gross lineup. Pitching from the stretch is Dallas Wetzel. This will be his 60th pitch of the day. He fires. The 2-2 pitch is low in the dirt. Great stop behind the dish by Fuccio, the freshman, or rather, Fuccio. Yes, the freshman catcher. Had to make sure I got that correctly because you don't see that every day. Now we're full. The payoff pitch, 3 balls, 2 strikes, Wetzel. This one swung on, hit into center field. The center fielder racing over, and he's able to haul it in for out number 3. And once again, Dallas Wetzel gets out of a jam thanks to his catcher, Fuccio, chucking a guy out at second base on an attempted steal. They strand, the Gross Catholic Cougars do, a runner at third base, and they are held scoreless. After 3.5 innings of play, it's 2-0. Ralston leads Gross Catholic here at Tal Anderson Field. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Nick Standard with you from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Ralston leads it 2-0 over the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars here as we enter the bottom half of the 4th inning. Your score once again 2-0. Only combined 3 hits on the day for both sides. 2 of them belong to Ralston. 2 of them more specifically belong to Braden Vandervoort of Ralston, as this first pitch of the inning is tapped to the third baseman, thrown in time over to first base by the third baseman for the Gross Catholic Cougars. Nice play defensively by Logan Legner as he's able to throw out Nick Bennis for the first out of the bottom of the 4th on a 5-3 putout. So now that brings up Cade Sticks. Sticks grounded out to the second baseman. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. It's a breaker that moved right to left. And a nice job there by the pitcher Yeshnowski to get strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Yeshnowski. Swung on, skied high into center field. Racing over is the center fielder. And he's able to make it, as that is Cale Bigsberger ranging over to his left to make the catch for out number 2. A good start, 2 up, 2 down on 3 pitches for the pitcher Charlie Yeshnowski. And that'll now bring up the 6-hole hitter Owen Elsasser, the left fielder, hitting on the year a .311 batting average, 19 hits in 61 at-bats. He's scored 20 runs, driven in 19. He swings at the first pitch, bounces it over to the second baseman who bobbles it. And instead of it being a 3-up, 3-down inning, the error on the second baseman for the Gross Catholic Cougars, as that was Drew Powers, unable to haul it in cleanly. That will allow Owen Elsasser to reach on the error by the second baseman. So Owen Elsasser is now occupying first base after an error. That brings up the second baseman for Ralston, Jason Miner. Miner in his first at-bat lined out to the second baseman, and he takes ball 1 up and in, 1-0. It could have been a 4-pitch inning for Yeshnowski there if that ground ball was fielded cleanly by the second baseman Powers. But instead, here we are, 1 ball, no strike. The runner goes, swung on and fouled back towards the press box here. We'll even it up at 1 ball, 1 strike here in just a moment to the 7-hitter Jason Miner. One ball, 1 strike, as Ralston has only achieved 2 hits on the day. Gross Catholic can't complain, though. He only has 1. They only have 1 hit. 2-0 is your score. Runner on first base after an error on the second baseman is Owen Elsasser. They pick over. And this is what we talked about last time, is Yeshnowski gets himself so concerned with the base runners that it can take his attention deviated away from the batter. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, that runner on first, even if he gets to second, doesn't matter a whole lot as he fires in a 1-1 offering for a strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jason Miner. As I mentioned, Miner lined out to end the 2nd inning. He lined into the glove of the second baseman. 1 ball, 2 strike here from Yeshnowski. The runner goes. Breaking ball hit well out to left center field. The center fielder races over. Not going to get there. There's a little bit of miscommunication as they throw it in. It's cut off. They'll throw it to second as the hitter on this one, Jason Miner, was trying to stretch a single into a double, and he gets tagged out at second base. That is why you throw it through your cutoff and not over the head, because if that ball would have went all the way to third base where they were trying to gun down the front runner, Owen Elsasser, he would not have been tagged out at second base, but instead Kozal cut it off on its way to third base, turned, threw it to second, and out by a mile at second base was Jason Miner to end the inning. So that does go down as a single, but he gets tagged out trying to advance to second base, and that will do it for our fourth inning of play. Your score after 4 full innings, 2-0. Ralston leads Gross Catholic here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50. Say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in as we are into the 8 p.m. hour here at Tal Anderson Field. We enter the top of the fifth inning as the shadows have engulfed about 99% of Tal Anderson Field here as the sun continues to set over our left shoulder. The stadium faces to the northeast. If you missed me saying that earlier, it faces to the northeast, so there is a part of the right field wall that has just a tad bit of sun shining off of it. The rest of the field, though, is demolished by the shadows. And so Ralston leads this one 2-0 as the lights start to turn on here at Tal Anderson Field as well. The first pitch of the at-bat, 1 ball, no strikes. Wetzel back out there for his fifth inning of work. He fires the 1-0 offering, low and away, ball 2 to Cale Bigsberger. Bigsberger walked to start the third inning and then was stranded at third base. Bigsberger with the 2-0 offering heading his way. It's inside, ball 3. He walked on 4 pitches to start the third inning, and here, with 1 more ball, he'll do the same here in the fifth. 3 balls, no strikes, as Dallas Wetzel fires from the windup. The 3-0 offering inside part of the plate for a strike. It's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wetzel starts his motion, fires home, and Cale Bigsberger takes strike 2. He has yet to take the bat off his shoulder this game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dallas Wetzel starts out of the windup. The payoff pitch, and it's ball 4. Ball 4 to Cale Bigsberger. He stole second base last time he got on first, so we'll see if Cale Bigsberger is in motion once again here. And it appears we're going to have a stoppage in play. We might see a substitution. It appears that Gross Catholic head coach Jim Hempel is talking to the home plate umpire. He has the lineup card out, and we're going to see what this conversation is about. Still some stoppage in play. It's the top of the fifth inning, and it looks like there might be a question about some substitutions potentially on Ralston's end, because the officials or the umpires rather, are having a conversation, and there's no pinch runner, there's no pinch hitter, as it's going to be Charlie Yeshnowski doing the hitting. So we'll see what the conversation is here between the four umpires. An update over in the Baton Rouge regional, say that 10 times fast. In an elimination game, Southeast Louisiana leads 10th ranked LSU again, 6-4. They led 4-0. They scored all 4 runs on 0 hits. And then LSU came back, tied it up. And then in the bottom of the 5th inning, Southeast Louisiana scored 2 more to extend their lead back to 2 at 6-4. Okay, so we have a decision made. It appears that they're going to go away from Charlie Yeshnowski as a hitter. I would not be surprised to see Yeshnowski re-enter as a pitcher next time he comes in. But it looks like Omaha Gross Catholic is going to go to number 1, Brandon Hempel, the second baseman, a junior, who is on the year 0 for 7. However, he has scored 8 runs on the campaign. So potentially a little bit of speed here for Hempel, both Coach Hempel and Brandon Hempel. And if we, once again, that speed and direction piece of a bunt can be so crucial if it's placed correctly. So Hempel steps in as the pinch hitter. Hempel, the right-hander facing the right arm of Dallas Wetzel. Runner on first, nobody out. They send the runner from first to second. The throw down by Fuccio is not in time, and that'll bring a no ball, 1 strike count here to, Brandon Hempel. And a runner now on second base is Cale Bigsberger. There's been a lot of deja vu moments here in this one. We saw it with Vandervert earlier. Now here on the Omaha Gross side of things, it is potentially a bunt situation for Brandon Hempel. The 0-1 offering by Wetzel. He squares, shows bunt, and he pulls back, takes ball 1 inside, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, as this will be Dallas Wetzel's 70th pitch of the day. He squares to bunt, pulls back, takes ball 2, 2-1. If you're Dallas Wetzel, let him bunt it. They appealed down to first base to see if he ended up holding the bat out there, but he did not. And so if you are, once again, if you're Dallas Wetzel, the man on the mound for the Ralston Rams, you got to figure out a way to let him bunt it. They'll square to bunt, and it's ball 3. The first baseman, and this is one thing I will say, and this is a very difficult baseball play to execute. Ethan McDaniel, he is in front of the pitcher's mound. I mean, we are talking maybe 35 feet away from home plate. That's where you pull out the fake bunt, choke up, and slash it away. Now a bunt down the third base side. It's going to move the runner running over to first base. They're able to get it over to first base in time. The sacrifice works to perfection. Gross Catholic is able to move and execute to where the runner at second, Cale Bigsberger, advances on the sacrifice into third base. It is 1-3 on the putout. A nice job there by the pinch hitter, Brandon Hempel, as he is out number 1 on the sacrifice. That'll bring up the top of the order. Carson Kozal. Kozal, 2 ground outs on the day. He's 0 for 2. 1 out, though, in the top of the 5th inning as he shows bunt. Pulls back. Now swings away, and a ball in the dirt. He swings at it, misses it, and it is 0-1 coming up to Carson Kozal. Kozal, the younger brother, as I mentioned earlier, of Cam Kozal, a current Arkansas Razorback baseball player. Carson Kozal, has 4 brothers and 2 sisters, 7 Kozal kids. 2-0 is your score. Ralston out in front by a pair of runs. Omaha Gross Catholic trails by 2. However, runner is 90 feet away from home. This one swung on, line right side. That will do a job and score a run. Carson Kozal, he grounds out for the 3rd time today, but that's the most valuable one as it's 4-3 on the putout. However, he does drive in a run. He is out number 2. Scoring on the play is Cale Bigsberger. So Bigsberger gives Ralston their first lead of the day, and still with just 1 hit on the evening, Ralston still leads it 2-1 after a Gross Catholic run. No balls, no strikes. The first pitch of the at-bat from Wetzel with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. It's on its way. It's lined out to center field, and that's down for a base hit. As a nice job by Drew Powers. Good approach at the plate. Good piece of hitting by the Gross Catholic second baseman, as he will be on first base with a 2-out single. So your score, 2-1. Ralston leads by 1 run. However, a 2-out single from Drew Powers gives Gross Catholic another base runner here with 2 outs in the top half of the 5th. These two teams did not match up in the regular season. And so first time seeing both sides here in this one. 2-1 is your score. Top of the fifth, Ralston trying to hold on and go into the bottom half of the frame with that 1-run lead. Wetzel comes set, picks over to the runner at first. Back in time is Drew Powers. He wasn't in too aggressive of a lead as Wetzel will come set. He turns, fires home, and it's inside ball one. 1 ball, no strikes here to the 3-hitter in the lineup for Gross Catholic, Logan Legner. Legner gets the start at third base today. He is 0 for 2, flew out to shallow center field where the shortstop was able to haul it in and then grounded out to the second baseman as well. 1-0 pitch, runner goes. They will fake the throw down to second. No contest from Fushio behind the dish. Stealing it easily is Omaha Gross Catholic, and it was a called strike, so it is now 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Legner, but the tying run is 180 feet away on second base. Logan Legner in the box, a righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way, swung on, hit well, deep center field. However, the center fielder ranges over, and he's able to make the catch for out number 3. So Dallas Wetzel gets out of the jam, just allowing 1 run. And as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning, your score still remains Ralston 2, Omaha Gross Catholic 1 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Nick Sainert with you from Tal Anderson Field here on the campus of the Omaha Mavericks. Ralston leads it 2-1. However, Omaha Gross Catholic has finally cut into the deficit there in that top half of the frame. And they trim it to just a 1-run ball game. It's now 2-1, as I mentioned a moment ago. So as Gross Catholic comes back out on defense, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. First baseman Ethan McDaniel is up first. He takes ball 1 up and in, 1-0. One ball, no strikes as Yashnowski delivers. Unable to get that one across the plate, and it is 2-0. Boy, I tell you, when you look at Ethan McDaniel, he gets ready to go as soon as the previous pitch is given back to the pitcher before he even comes set. He's got the bat up, waggling it, ready to go. 3 balls, no strikes here to the 8-hitter in the Ralston lineup. Ethan McDaniel, the 3-0, didn't even move the bat off his shoulder. It's in there for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's 2-1 Ralston here. Just 5 combined hits in this one. The pitch from Yashnowski is low and inside, ball 4, and that's a lead-off walk for Ethan McDaniel and the Ralston offense. Kason Fushio comes into the game. We're going to have a pinch runner here for Ethan McDaniel at first base. The pinch runner is going to be number 10 for Ralston, Brody Jenkins. Jenkins has been in this role often. 13 runs scored for Brody Jenkins on the campaign. Now that'll bring up to the plate, as I mentioned, Kaysen Fushio, the freshman catcher. We'll see if a freshman can do his job here and more than likely try to bunt over the courtesy or pinch runner, Brody Jenkins. 2-1 is your score. Yashnowski will eclipse 60 pitches tonight with this next one. Still some stoppages in play as we're ironing some things out. It's the bottom of the 5th inning here as we approach 8:30 p.m. 2-1 is your score. Runner on first base, nobody out. Yashnowski comes set while checking the runner at first. He pauses. He still pauses. He's still paused, and now he delivers, showing bunt. Fushio able to get it down. It's a good one. Depth to first base line. An underhand toss to first is in time from the right arm of Yashnowski, and the freshman catcher, Kaysen Fushio, does his job, sacrifices Brody Jenkins over to second on the sack, and that is out number 1 here on the 1-3 putout. That'll bring up the top of the order, and you might say that's a big deal because Braden Vandervoort, who has 2 of Ralston's 3 hits on the night, steps into the box. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runner is in scoring position at second base. Yashnowski checks him twice, checks him again, now fires. This one low and away, ball 1. We talked about it earlier. Yashnowski sometimes can show that he's pretty flustered with runners on base, especially when somebody gets into scoring position. One ball, no strikes. Yashnowski still waiting. Now delivers. This one swung on, skied high. It's going to stay in play. The second baseman races over. Could not make an over-the-shoulder catch, and it's going to be a foul ball. So we will even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. As Vandervoort takes his time getting his bat and trotting back to the right-handed batter's box. A lot of folks standing on the concourse here at Tal Anderson Field. 2-1 is your score, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yashnowski comes set at the belt, looks back, now fires home, swung on, and it's fouled off right side, and it'll be a 1 ball, 2 strike count coming up in just a moment. One ball, 2 strike, 1 out after the sacrifice was put down successfully by Kaysen Fushio. Braden Vandervoort, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. He also has 2 runs scored tonight. He stands facing a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way, low and in the dirt, good body behind the dish, and it's going to be hauled in, and it's going to be 2-2 coming up in just a moment. Good stop behind the plate by the catcher who is getting DH'd for tonight in the Gross Catholic lineup, Vinny Cortinas. 2 balls, 2 strikes, as this will be the 66th pitch of Yashnowski's day. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-1 is your score. Ralston leads with a man in scoring position. The pitch on 2-2, skied high into center field, right in the middle of the Omaha logo in center field. The center fielder hauls it in. He's going to try to get the runner who's tagging from second to third, not able to do so as the transfer from Kozal, as he was trying to get it to the third baseman, Legner, was unsuccessful and not smooth. But nonetheless, for Omaha Gross Catholic, they are able to get out number 2 on the flyout, and the one guy that they had not been able to retire tonight is finally out as Braden Vandervoort, it flies out to the center fielder. Now, up to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at third base. That runner is Brody Jenkins. They are going to bring up Bryson Sargent, the center fielder, to the plate, a left-handed hitter who is on the day 0 for 0. He's walked and he's driven in a run via sacrifice fly. Here's the pitch. 1-1, or first pitch of the at-bat, fielded in fair territory by the first baseman. He steps on the bag, and that will do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. We are through 5 innings of play. It is 2-1. The Ralston Rams still clinging on to that 1-run advantage. Gross Catholic in the top half of the sixth inning will send Maddox Villamonte, Robbie Brennan, and Griff Picard up to the plate. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 in that Gross Catholic lineup. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds, and do it here from Tal Anderson Field.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Tal Anderson Field. Nick Sainer with you here in the Class B State Tournament. It's our fourth game of the day. It's our final game of the day. Ralston leads it 2-1. As Dallas Wetzel will trot back out there for his sixth inning of work. He has allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Ralston's committed 1 error. Yeshnowski has had a nice day on the mound as well. However, for 2 of those errors, Ralston has, and Yeshnowski, I should say, has allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, and Gross has committed 3 errors. 2 of those coming on pickoff attempts from the pitcher, trying to get a guy at second base. So now it's Dallas Wetzel's time on the bump, and stepping into the plate is Maddox Villamonte. Villamonte, the first baseman here tonight, he takes the first pitch, hits it up the middle, as second baseman trying to dive and get the baseball, unable to do so. It's going to squirt into center field after the glove of the second baseman, and that is a leadoff single for Omaha Gross Catholic here in the top half of the 6th inning. A nice piece of hitting there by Maddox Villamonte as he gets the leadoff single. There is an arm warming in the Ralston Rams bullpen. However, stepping up to the plate now, it's going to be Robbie Brennan. Let's see if we can do the old adage of get him on, move him over, drive him in. If Robbie Brennan, the left fielder, decides to square and bunt. Villamonte leads off of first. They turn, they bunt it down the first base line. It's a good one. It's going to do the job as that will move Villamonte up to second base on the sacrifice bunt from Robbie Brennan. Nice job by Robbie Brennan doing his job, as that is the sacrifice 1-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning. But most importantly, Maddox Villamonte moves up to second base. And now with Griff Picard due up, he reached on an error back in the 4th inning. He grounded out to the second baseman in the 2nd. And here he has a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. 1 out in the inning. This one driven hard, right side, line drive, caught by the second baseman. Diving into second base safely was Maddox Villamonte. A good piece of hitting by Picard. Just an unlucky situation as he lines out to the second baseman for out number 2 here in the top half of the 6th inning. It's been an evenly played baseball game for the most part. The biggest discrepancy is the error column. Gross Catholic with 3 errors to Ralston's 1. Other than that, it's a 1-run ball game. Both teams have 3 hits on their own as well. Maddox Villamonte leads off at second. Stepping in, it's the designated hitter, Braden Dolan. He'll take the first pitch low out of the zone in the dirt, in the turf for ball 1. 2-1 is your score. Ralston leads by a run. They scored 1 run in the first, 1 run in the 3rd. Gross finally cracked the scoreboard in the top of the 5th inning. Now they have a runner in scoring position here in the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes as Dallas Wetzel is on the mound. Could potentially be Wetzel's last inning if they want to save him and give him just 3 days rest instead of 4 days. He could be available to pitch on Wednesday if he throws less than 91. The pitch in the dirt, it gets past the catcher, and it will allow the runner Villamonte to advance into 3rd, and now the game-tying run is just 90 feet away at 3rd base in the form of Maddox Villamonte. So he moves up on the wild pitch. And now the count to Braden Dahlin, the designated hitter, is 2 balls and no strikes. Here's Wetzel, the delivery on 2-0, up out of the zone, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. 2-1 is your score. Braden Dahlin, the hitter, with a 3-0 count advantage. The pitch in the dirt, no good. Good stop behind the plate, and it's a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. Runners are now going to be on the corners. And we have a conference on the mound. That is 86 pitches now for Dallas Wetzel. And I think that they are going to pull the plug. They sure are. They're going to call it a day for Dallas Wetzel, it appears. If that's not the case, then they will run the risk of him getting over his 90-pitch limit. That would be the difference between 3 days of rest and 4 days of rest. They did have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, and they started walking back to the dugout, so an indication that they are ready to go whenever their name is called. But once again, it does not appear that they're actually going to pull it on Dallas Wetzel. So he has 86 pitches now. 2-1 is your score, and they're going to keep Dallas Wetzel in it. All right, that's fine. We'll see what happens here. As coming up to bat, it's number 42, the center fielder, Cale Biggsburger. Biggsburger has yet to record an official at-bat. He has been walked 2 times. 2-1 is your score. Runners on the corners now for Omaha Gross Catholic. The last time that this was the situation, they got thrown out on an attempt to steal second base. I would imagine they'll try to keep the runner at first here in this one. No, they're going to take off. They're going to take off. They'll throw the pitch in. It's up and in, and they will call it a ball 1-0. I think the third base coach, that's a traditional first and third play. I'll explain it as we have time. But it was a good job by Dallas Wetzel. We cannot emphasize this enough to stay calm as that runner at first takes off. Runners at second and third, 1-0 pitch. It's hits the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. So what I was going to say is they'll take off early before the pitcher. What they'll try to do is get into a rundown between first and second. A lot of times pitchers at this level will panic and balk, which would automatically score the run. It would also create a rundown between first and second, allowing the runner at third to get into a rundown of his own on the way. Now a base hit up the middle, a diving stop by Vanderford. Can he get there in time? He cannot. Now 1 run scores, and rounding third, another one. And Ralston has surrendered the lead to Gross Catholic on a base hit up the middle by Cale Biggsburger out of the 8th spot in the lineup. A 2 RBI single. They were so concerned on whether or not the out was made at first base that when they were waiting on the umpire to make the call, he called it safe, and without even looking, Ralston didn't even realize that Omaha Gross Catholic had swiped an extra 90 feet, and now Gross leads it 3-2. So it goes as a 2 RBI single for Cale Biggsburger. Both Villamonte and Dolan will score on the play. And now it's a 2-out runner on first base situation. Now that first pitch to Charlie Yeshnowski is in there for a strike, 0-1. Wow, what a absolute bizarre series of events between the first and third steal play, and now able to get another one in, as this one hit out well to center field, fairly deep, but routine, as the center fielder hauls it in for out number 3. But the damage is done. Ralston surrenders the lead to Omaha Gross Catholic as they now trail 3-2 to the Cougars of Gross Catholic here as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Should be a good one. A good finish is in sight. It's a 1-run ball game now in favor of the Gross Catholic Cougars here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, bottom of the 6th inning, here we are. Gross Catholic has taken a 1-run advantage into the bottom half of the 6th as they scored 2 runs in the top half of the frame. So now Gross leads it 3-2. More importantly, Charlie Yeshnowski is on the mound for his 6th inning of work. So here we have it as we approach 20 minutes until 9 p.m. To note, in the Baton Rouge Regional, Southeastern Louisiana leads LSU again in the top of the 7th inning, 7-6. LSU 2 outs away from being eliminated, but the Tigers do have a runner at second base. 3-2 is your score. Once again, Charlie Yeshnowski is the pitcher on the mound. He'll face hitters 3, 4, and 5 for Ralston. The first pitch is low and away for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, grounded sharply, third base. It's bodied up, fires over to first, not in time as Kyle Gouchard will reach safely. That should go as a hit. That was a well-hit ground ball. It was right at the third baseman, but he bodied it up and then tried to throw it over to first base. It took a little bit of an aggressive hop off of his chest. But if you are Omaha Gross Catholic head coach Jim Hempel, you're sitting there saying, you did your job. You bodied it up. You tried to keep it in front of you. It just bounced off somewhat awkwardly to the left. And so it's a single for Kyle Gouchard. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Nick Bennis. Bennis, the right fielder. He on the day is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to the third baseman. Runner on first base is Kyle Gouchard. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Yeshnowski comes set. He fires, and it's low and away for a ball, 1-0. And this is the question right now. Can Yeshnowski control the moment? Can he control his mannerisms and his attitude on this, the mental side of it, with runners on base? He quickly picks over to first base. Back in time safely was Gouchard. Three to 2 is your score. Now Yeshnowski steps off the rubber. It does appear that Gross Catholic has somebody warming up in the bullpen. Gouchard leads off first. He's not very far off the bag. Here's the pitch. It's low and away. Thankful for the turf. It bounced into the glove of the catcher behind the plate. And now it is 2 balls and no strikes to the Ralston cleanup hitter. And if I am Nick Bennis here at the plate, I'm sitting 2-0 fastball. 2 balls, no strikes here to Nick Bennis. The pitch on 2-0. Swung on, grounded left side, and it is foul. It'll be 2 balls and 1 strike coming up for Nick Bennis. Two balls, 1 strike in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yeshnowski is on the mound. He toes the rubber with Gouchard leading off of first. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Here in the nightcap between Gross Catholic and Ralston, they pick over. Back in time, plenty of time, was Gouchard. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's 3-2, Gross Catholic out in front of the Ralston Rams. Here's the pitch by Gross. It's well outside. It gets past the catcher. Moving up 90 feet is Gouchard. He rounds second, and he will stay put at second base. But now that's a free 90 feet there, but 3-1 is the count with nobody out in the bottom of the sixth inning, and that's exactly what I mean. Yashnowski stays paused for so much longer when there's a runner on base because he's so concerned about mixing up the timing, and now with a 3-1 count, it appears that Omaha Gross Catholic is going to make a pitching change. We will step aside for 90 seconds as Gross Catholic is going to call on a reliever. It's 3-2 Omaha Gross right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, so Omaha Gross Catholic will turn to a senior reliever, Lucas Janovich. Janovich on the year holds a 4-0 record, has 2 saves on the year. He would be in line with the save if he can get out of this jam and win the game in the next inning. He holds a 2.45 earned run average as well. However, he enters the game in the middle of a count to the cleanup hitter, Nick Bennis. Bennis drew a 3-1 count here. And so if you are Janovich, you got to come in and hopefully throw a strike relatively soon. 3 balls, 1 strike as we are ready to start play once again. So he'll have to come in out of the stretch. The runner is on second base. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the sixth. The pitch on the way, and it's ball 4 to Nick Bennis. Tough to fault, obviously, Lucas Janovich for that one. But now that'll bring up Cade Sticks, who is the starting third baseman on the day for the Ralston Rams. Sticks 0 for 2. He grounded out to the second baseman back in the second inning, and he flew out to the center fielder in the fourth. 3-2 is your score. Janovich, this will be his first full batter that he gets to face. Here's the pitch, showing bunt, and it's outside, ball 1. To Cade Sticks. Three to 2 is your score, both sides with 4 hits on the day. Runners now at first and second for the Ralston Rams. Nobody out. Sticks in the box. Janovich, the right-handed pitcher. He turns to bunt. The bunt is going to hit him outside of the box. Maybe they might call him, it was a foul ball. No, they're going to say it hit him outside the box. And so Cade Sticks bunts it, hits him outside of the box. He ends up getting called out on that play. And because of that, the runners do get to move up to second and third base. And so, or rather, they have to go back to first and second base. And so now home plate umpire will ask for some help and some advice. He was the one that initially made the call that it hit him outside of the box for an out, but they're going to have the conversation here and talk about whether or not it hit him inside the box, and it could just be called a foul ball. Gross Catholic might have an uproar, though, if they end up changing this call. No, it does not appear. It does not appear that they're going to change the call. So it'll stay out. Runners will be at first and second, and there is now one out here. So we're going to call that basically interference on Cade Sticks. That's out number one, and runners will have to stay put. 3-2 is your score. Gross Catholic out in front by a run. Janovich on the mound. This will be pitch number 4 for his relief appearance. One out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Up to the plate, Owen Elsasser. The first pitch to Elsasser as Janovich pauses, fires, swung on, skied high, shallow center field. The center fielder racing over. Now the right fielder calls him off, and he'll haul it in for out number 2. An arid throw as nobody covers third base, but it was too shallow in right field for anybody to worry about tagging up. And so because of that, the runners will have to stay put at first and second. And guess what, folks? Because of a couple of things that happen, you have a situation to where Ralston might get out of this inning with nothing. After they had runners on first and second with nobody out, the next 2 guys go down, and it is now runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Jason Miner. Miner, the second baseman. The first pitch of the at-bat on the way, and it's up out of the zone, ball 1. Three to 2 is your score. 1-0 the count. Runners on first and second, and Janovich says, okay, I'll just hold off and step off the rubber. Southeastern Louisiana in the Baton Rouge Regional has a runner on third base. They need to score 1 run. They're tied at 7 apiece in the bottom of the 7th inning to Southeastern Louisiana. Nebraska plays the winner in the regional final, and whoever it is has to beat Nebraska twice. Jason Miner fouls this pitch, fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. So here you have it. 3-2 is your score. Ralston, they led the entirety of the game until the top of the 6th inning. We are here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and second for the Rams. Jason Miner, the hitter, has a runner to tie the game, standing on second to go ahead on first. The pitch on 1-1 is inside, ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. Ralston is currently at hitter number 7 in their lineup. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th as Janovich will have to step off the rubber. Jason Miner called timeout at home plate. Two balls, 1 strike to Jason Miner. Janovich comes set. He looks back to the runner at second base, now checks home, and that is going to be a fake throw on a pickoff to second base just to force him back. 3-2 is your score. 2 balls, 1 strike. Janovich comes set. He fires on his way home. That is outside, ball 3. And similar to what we talked about with Yeshnowski, there's no reason here that Janovich has to concern himself so much with that runner on second base. Fire it home, be competitive, throw some strikes, and get out of this thing. The pitch on 3-1 is outside, ball 4, and the bases are juiced. So now with that, Kyle Gouchard moves up to third, Nick Bennis moves up to second, and Jason Miner stands at first. Your score, it's 3-2, Omaha Gross Catholic over the Ralston Rams. Stepping into the plate, it's the first baseman, Ethan McDaniel. And how about this? A final in the Baton Rouge Regional. Southeastern Louisiana knocks off LSU for the second day in a row, and they're going to play Nebraska tomorrow in the regional final. 3-2 is your score back here, though, at Tal Anderson Field. Here's the pitch to Ethan McDaniel. Swung on and missed. That is the first pitch of the at-bat, so no balls, 1 strike. So now, with no balls and 1 strike, here's the pitch from Janovich on the way down Broadway, and it's no balls, 2 strikes to Ethan McDaniel. McDaniel, the first baseman, he on the season has just a 182 batting average. He has only 4 hits and 6 RBI on the campaign. He's got 3 potential RBI out there as the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. Ethan McDaniel facing an 0-2 count from the right arm of Lucas Janovich. The pitch on 0-2. Swung on and missed. Omaha Gross Catholic gets out of a jam where Ralston had runners on first and second with nobody out. And Janovich, ice cold veins in relief of Charlie Yeshnowski. Gross Catholic gets out of the jam, and they take a 1-run lead into the 7th inning. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds for the top of the 7th. It's 3-2 Gross Catholic.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, 1 love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in, Tal Anderson Field. The top of the 7th inning is here. It's 3-2 Gross Catholic on top of the Ralston Rams. Ralston had every opportunity in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second, nobody out. They finally had ushered Charlie Yeshnowski out of the game. They tried to lay down a bunt. It ended up hitting the batter outside of the batter's box, which then resulted in an out. Runners stayed put on first and second base. And then it ended up being a fly out into shallow right field and a strikeout to end the inning. Gross Catholic with a 3-2 lead as we have a new pitcher. It is Kyle Gouchard. Gouchard changes from the designated hitter to the pitcher. And for Gross Catholic, they will send hitters 1, 2, and 3 to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning as they try to add some insurance. It'll be Carson Kozol due up first here in the top of the 7th inning. Carson Kozol, he steps into the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch by Gouchard is in the dirt. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Gouchard. Inside, ball 2. Gouchard looks to be throwing it pretty hard. However, through the first 2 pitches, unable to command a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes here to Kozol. The pitch inside, ball 3. So that reigns true here in the top of the 7th. .30 pitch on the way, and it's a 4-pitch walk. That is not what you wanted if you are the Ralston Rams. A 4-pitch walk when you're trying to keep it a 1-run deficit. 3-2 is your score. Omaha Gross Catholic out in front by 1, and that now brings up Drew Powers, who if I'm Drew, I am sitting until I see a strike, because right now Kyle Gouchard has not been anywhere close. Runner on first, it's Kozol. The pitch as he squares to bunt. It gets to the backstop, and strolling into second base is going to be Kozol. That is the 5th consecutive ball to start Kyle Gouchard's outing, and it's 1-0 coming up to Drew Powers. Just a disastrous way to start your relief appearance if you are the Ralston Rams. Runner is at second base. Nobody out for Gross Catholic. Ralston is the 3 seed. Gross Catholic the 6 seed. Squaring to bunt is Drew Powers. He pulls back, takes another ball. That is ball 6. If we were down at Bluebell Park in Texas A&M, you'd have the entire fan starting to chant ball 6 every single second until the opposing pitcher can throw one across the plate. 3-2 is your score. 2 balls, no strikes. Drew Powers squaring to bunt as he will pull back and take ball 3. 7 consecutive balls to begin Kyle Gouchard's outing. Three balls, no strikes. You square to bunt only to pull back as the optical illusion for Kyle Gouchard to have to deal with. He'll square, he'll pull back, and he'll take ball 4. My word, 8 consecutive balls for Kyle Gouchard. And it looks like, I would imagine that the leash has to be relatively short for the Ralston Rams pitcher and Kyle Gouchard. We're going to have time on the field. Runners are on first and second after consecutive walks by Kyle Gouchard. He walks them, and he's had 8 pitches, and there's been 8 balls. 2 walks back-to-back, and it's a crucial point in this one for the Ralston Rams. Let's step aside 30 seconds, come back on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, welcome back to Tal Anderson Field. Your score 3-2. The Gross Catholic Cougars on top by 1 over the Ralston Rams. Nobody out here in the top half of the 7th inning. Ralston led with their 1 run in the first, 1 run in the third, and then Gross Catholic able to get a run in the 5th and 2 runs in the 6th. No balls, no strikes. It'll be the first pitch of the AB to number 17, Logan Legner. Legner on the day 0 for 3. First baseman halfway in between the home plate and first base bag. They'll turn. Once again, that's dangerously close for the first baseman. I get you want to try to make a play at third, but man, Legner decides to turn and slash this. It's going to be real interesting. They turn, pull back, strike one finally by Kyle Gouchard. Strike one to Logan Legner on Gouchard's 9th pitch of his outing. Three to two is your score. No balls, 1 strike here to Logan Legner. We'll see if he can drop down a bunt and move his 2 runners over a base. They'll turn square. Bunt is going to hit him inside the box, and that'll be a foul ball. Omaha Gross Catholic leads by a run. Both sides with just 4 hits on the day. Gross Catholic has committed 3 errors on the evening. Excuse me. Runners on first and second, no balls, 2 strikes. They'll turn, fake the pickoff to second base. Carson Kozol not going anywhere. It's a 1-run ball game here in the top of the 7th. 3-2 is your score. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on. Soft floater. It's going to be hauled in by the second baseman, and that's a big first out there for Kyle Gouchard as it's a fly out to the second baseman for out number 1. Now bringing up the cleanup hitter, Maddox Villamonte. Villamonte on the evening, 1 for 3. He flew out to left field in the first inning. He grounded out to the first baseman in the 4th, and just last inning came around to score after getting a single to start the inning. He was the guy that started the 6th inning, 2-run inning for the Omaha Gross Catholic Cougars as he fires this one to the left side up in the air. It's going to get out of play. 0-1 after the foul ball. The winner of this game will get the Bennington Badgers on Monday. The loser gets the Seward Blue Jays. Ralston in the field. It's an 0-1 count on the Gross Catholic cleanup hitter. It's going to get back to the backstop. The catcher, Fuscio, unable to haul that one in. And so essentially, if you're Gross Catholic, you basically laid down the sacrifice bunt like you were trying to do last AB. Runners go up 90 feet to second and third base, and now runners are on second and third with just 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count to Maddox Villamonte. On first base, or rather third base, it's Carson Kozol. On second, it's Drew Powers. Maddox Villamonte, the left-handed hitter, facing the right-handed pitcher, Kyle Gouchard, who's been ineffectively wild so far in his relief appearance. The pitch, skied high. It's in foul territory. Will it stay in play? The third baseman ranges over. The 2 guys collide. The catcher, Fuscio, and the third baseman for the Ralston Rams, Cade Sticks. They collide. Sticks is still down on the ground as he is holding his glove above his head. It should have been an out, but because of a lack of communication, it is a foul ball. Cade Sticks still laying on the turf in foul territory. The catcher, Fuscio, is up, and he seems to be okay, but Cade Sticks still laying down on the turf. It's 3-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. After that foul ball, it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And while they tend to Cade Sticks, let's step aside for 30 seconds. We'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket right after this.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
To the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Cade Sticks is up and seems to be relatively okay as he and the catcher Fushio collided trying to go for a foul ball in the air, but he is jogging back onto the field. He's good to go. And somewhere Fushio is in the dugout. There he is. He pops and emerges from the underground dugout here at Tal Anderson Field, and we are good. So they have to go through I believe, more than likely the concussion screening real quick on the field, the on-field evaluation, because now they are tending to Fushio over there in front of the Ralston dugout. So as I mentioned, Bennington will await the winner of this game. The loser gets the Seward Blue Jays. We're unsure on the specific time of the game, just because there's some Omaha Gross Catholic graduation ceremonies that will dictate the time that Omaha Gross can play. So they're still tending to Fushio on the in-foul territory. Kyle Gouchard is just playing catch with his shortstop right now. Still waiting around, figuring out what they want to do. And it appears they might be taking... Nope, they're going to keep Fushio in. It looked like for a second that they were going to make him take the gear off. But it seems like he's going to be okay. We're just kind of standing around, not really sure what we're waiting on. They're talking to Fushio on the sideline, or in the foul territory, rather. And it appears that, so Fushio is going to come out of the game. We'll have a defensive replacement. Fushio will come out of the game. And so with that, there will be a new catcher. I would imagine that new catcher is Sam Christie. He's the only other catcher that's listed on the Ralston roster. Sam Christie, the sophomore. And just to see, guess what? Talk about the ball finding you. Sam Christie will be due up first when Ralston takes over on offense in the bottom of the 7th inning. So there you have it. Sam Christie comes in for the freshman catcher Fushio. He'll deal with Kyle Gouchard, the pitcher. The current situation is 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th inning, as we have surpassed the 9 p.m. hour here at Tal Anderson Field. The current hitter for Omaha Gross Catholic is Maddox Villamonte. As I mentioned, a 1-2 count against Villamonte. And it looks like we're ready to go. So, Ralston, after an extended break, we're ready to play baseball again after 2 guys collide. Cade Sticks, the third baseman, stays in the game. However, Fushio, the catcher, subs out for Sam Christie, who's now behind the plate. Watch for that to be a factor in maybe either blocking or just communication with his pitcher on the mound. Kyle Gouchard, the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be blocked. It gets away from the catcher. He'll throw home. The tag is in time. They cut him down at the plate as Omaha Gross Catholic and Carson Kozal tried to swipe 90 feet on the wild pitch that somewhat got away from the catcher, Sam Christie. Christie was able to turn, give it to his pitcher, Kyle Gouchard, who was covering home, who applied the tag to Carson Kozal. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. And if you're Ralston and can get out of this unscathed, maybe we start to see that momentum shift back in the direction of the Rams. There is 1 runner on base at third base, and Maddox Villamonte calls timeout. So Kozal gets cut down at the plate for out number 2. Advancing to third is Drew Powers. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Maddox Villamonte. from Gouchard. He fires. This one hit out well out to center field. The center fielder races over, and he hauls it in for out number 3. So after Ralston threatened Gross Catholic in the bottom of the 6th, they came up empty. And now in the top of the 7th, Gross Catholic had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and they come away with nothing. We enter the final frame of the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th. Ralston needs 1 run to tie, 2 to win it against the Gross Catholic Cougars. Taking the mound, it is Lucas Janovich. We'll see if can he slam the door on the Rams or can they leave it open, and we go to extras here at Tal Anderson Field in 30 seconds.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, friends, we enter the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's 3-2. Gross Catholic out in front by a run. They will turn to, once again, Lucas Janovich. Janovich had shut the door on the 6th inning threat from the Ralston Rams. But now here in the bottom of the 7th, he will face 9, 1, and 2 in the Ralston Rams order. And how about this for the ball will find you, young man, as Sam Christie has to come in for the injured catcher Fuccio in the last half inning. And guess who is due up first in the bottom of the 7th? Number 12, Sam Christie. On the year, Sam Christie is hitting just 125. He has just 3 hits in 24 at-bats on the entire season. The first pitch of the 7th inning is in there for a strike, 0-1. So not an ideal spot for Sam Christie to get his first AB of the game in the bottom of the 7th inning of a 1-run ball game. However, here's an 0-1 pitch. It turns, it almost hit him, but yet he ducked out of the way, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Janovich is in line for the save on the mound, while Charlie Yashnowski is in line for the win. This one grounded right side. Second baseman fields it cleanly, fires to first in time, and Gross Catholic is able to retire the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 7th in Sam Christie, grounding out 4-3 on the putout. That'll turn the lineup over, and potentially the more dangerous man that's been there today has been Braden Vanderfort. Vanderfort is 2 for 3 on the day. And so Vanderfort will step in to face Janovich. Here's the first pitch to Vanderfort. Breaking ball works itself back to the zone. It's strike 1. 2 outs away are the Cougars of Omaha Gross Catholic. The pitch on the way, low and away, ball 1. So here you have it with Omaha Gross leading by 1. They scored 1 run in the top of the 5th, 2 in the top of the 6th, and here the 1-1 offering is low and away for a ball, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, a 1-run Gross Catholic lead. Ralston trying to stay alive in this one. As we have a time called by the catcher behind the dish by Omaha Gross Catholic. 2 balls, 1 strike is your count to the leadoff hitter, the number 1 hitter rather, in the lineup for Ralston. And this one's fouled off right side into the netting, and it'll be a 2 ball, 2 strike count. A real interesting and intense situation here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Braden Vandervoort. Lucas Janovich on the mound. He fires the 2-2 breaking ball, stayed inside, ball 3. It's ran full, and here we go with the payoff pitch coming. Can Janovich retire Vandervoort, who's stolen 2 bases today, or will he put him on via a free pass? The 3-2 payoff pitch on the way, outside, ball 4, and Braden Vandervoort will occupy first base. A 1-out walk to the number 1 hitter in the Ralston lineup, Braden Vandervoort. And Vandervoort will now go on down to first base, a place where he's stolen second twice, here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Ralston trailing by 1. Both sides still with just 4 hits on the evening. Gross Catholic, however, has committed 3 errors, while Ralston has committed just 1. We have a stoppage in play as there's a conference on the mound. Let's pause 30 seconds and take a break. Come right back for the conclusion of this one here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It's the bottom of the 7th inning here between Gross Catholic and Ralston. 3-2 is your score. And with a 1-out walk, that's going to bring up the 2-hole hitter. Number 1, the center fielder, Bryson Sargent. Sargent on the day is 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly back in the 1st inning. He walked in the 3rd and then was retired in the 5th. Vandervoort leads off first base. The pitch swung on, skied high into foul territory. Third baseman ranging over. He hauls it in for out number 2, and that will give the Gross Catholic Cougars some life as they have 1 out remaining until they complete the comeback over the Ralston Rams here in the bottom of the 7th inning. But it's all up to now Kyle Gouchard. Gouchard is the 3-hole hitter in the lineup as we have 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. At first base, it's Braden Vandervoort. Kyle Gouchard, the righty. Lucas Janovich, the righty pitcher. Janovich on the year has 2 saves. He picks over to first. Back in time is Vandervoort. Nick Bennis is in the on-deck circle. The cleanup hitter for Ralston. However, Kyle Gouchard, who singled his last time up, has this one, drives it left side. It's fielded cleanly by the third baseman. Throw across the diamond is in time. And Omaha Gross Catholic is able to score a run in the 5th, 2 of them in the 6th, and they complete the comeback and win a tight, ugly, gritty 1-run game over the Ralston Rams by a score of 3-2. Ralston scored a run in the 1st. They scored a run in the 3rd, but that was all she wrote as the Gross Catholic combination of Lucas Janovich and the starter Charlie Yeshnowski, along with their defense, shut down the Rams offense in the final 4 innings of play, and they complete the comeback by a score of 3-2. So Omaha Gross Catholic will now advance to play the Bennington Badgers on Monday, while Ralston will fall to the elimination bracket and face, in an elimination game, the Seward Blue Jays on Monday as well. Both of those games will take place at Papillion La Vista South High School on Monday. We will be stationed at Warner Park. We take off tomorrow. We will be stationed all week next week at Warner Park on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We take Thursday off before the 3 state championship games on Friday afternoon and evening. Once again, your final score, Omaha Gross Catholic 3, the Ralston Rams 2. Can't thank you guys enough for spending your Saturday with me. Thanks to my partner, Austin Orman, for calling the games with me this afternoon and morning. And thank you so much to Jackson Kleinschmidt and Harrison Arns back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios in Lincoln at 1040 O Street for pushing all the buttons and keeping us connected back there in Lincoln. Your final score, one last time, from Tal Anderson Field on a Saturday. Omaha Gross Catholic comes from behind. They were down 2-0 entering the 5th inning. They scored 1 run in the top of the 5th to trim it in half, 2-1. They then answered in the top of the 6th with a 2 spot to take a 3-2 lead. And there you have it. With 3-2 is your final score here from Tal Anderson Field. We're saying so long. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you Monday morning from Warner Park.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time, which is